tie it down to the, nope. Try to show you again since that was the most useless thing. Not gonna touch that, even though my brain was like, smooth that out. It immediately was like, touch that. There it goes, look! Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay. Oh gosh, if we shrunk those guys down, it would be so adorable. Carefree and making beaded lizards when you were a kid and there was nothing else going on, you know, which I have little of. I'm not a very patient person. Straight bead, that's not a term, but you straight bead. Okay, we're gonna continue to use that. Because I'm a crazy person. With my scissors that don't cut, if you haven't noticed that the whole video. So tricky. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. My point is just get out. That. Hi guys, and welcome back. This little guy was my inspiration for what we're gonna do this week. My littles won a craft kit out of one of those claw machines, and one of them got 2 tiny beaded lizards to make, and the other one got this guy. And the thing is I didn't think much of it at the time, so we went fishing and I brought these kits because I thought we could, you know, lay out and build these little guys, which was so much fun, but it instantly made me realize that that was so much fun. So I decided these guys were super cute in size. I like that they're smaller, but I did end up purchasing these tiny little, they call them seed beads. I didn't know that was what they were called. When I was looking for them, I just searched, you know, tiny beads, but we are gonna make tiny little versions of this guy. And I figured also if we wanted them to be, have like a little loop to it, we could use these. I guess this wouldn't be so useful like if you wanted a key ring, but you could actually hook stuff to this. Would that even be useful though? I guess that wouldn't be useful, but I don't know. Now that I look at that, I'm like, wait, that's not useful unless you took one of these from your key ring and hooked it to this loop. But maybe we'll make one without the, let's just make our first little guy without one of these, and I'll either get some of these clippy things or we can just use one of those. But I also saved the directions because until I learn, this is what the kit they ended up getting. Which one was this? Oh yeah, see, this one was the twins. So they had 2 little baby ones, which were a little smaller than this guy. This was my other one. So we're gonna just follow this pattern basically and create one that is so little, and it's gonna be adorable. I also picked, I want to get more kits of these. They had different color schemes. So they had like creams and browns. I want to say there was like way brighter colors possibly. They had like 4 different sets, but I thought this one was really fitting with just the different greens is really what caught my eye. But also I was showing my husband, we could make a little tiny invisible clear guy with maybe different texture beads. I don't know. There's just so many ideas that came to mind from this one tiny project. My brain just started spinning with it. So I'm gonna get everything set up to get started, and then we're pretty much winging it. So we'll see how this turns out. So my dilemma would be, do I use the clear or do I use the green? Maybe we'll do the green with some green ones right now, and we'll do the clear fishing line with a clear little lizard. And I'm probably going to make 2 of these little guys, and what I'll do is I'll show you the start. We'll do the first one together basically, and then I will show him all finished. Oh, this had a, I took the plastic off but not the, and I don't want these to fly everywhere. Hold on. Okay, that's kind of scary. Ta-da! Look at how beautiful that pack of beads is. By the way, I got this pack on Walmart. I did look on Amazon and nothing. I was really not impressed. I don't think I looked maybe possibly long enough because I also was cross-checking on Walmart, and they had obviously had these sets. This set of beads was $8.88. And I'm not by any means, I'm just getting into like the beading and the jewelry type aspect of things. I would assume that's a really good price, and I loved that it came in this little storage case. I thought that was such a cool, and maybe that's just a common thing. I think that's just common with beads, but I just thought that was really cool how it already had storage. I know just from my past video when I bought the pearl beads, they came in little baggies, and so I didn't have the storage for them. So basically I am going to start with a ring because my brain is not working and I'm not really sure how you start the base without the ring, because it says you put your little, you fold your string and then put the loop through there. By the way, I hope you guys are not expecting good directions, because that was not a good start. Then you put your loose ends through the loop, if you can see it, and you tie it down to the, nope. Oh, see, that's unfinished. I'm gonna have to make sure it goes down on this end. All right, so let me try to show you again, since that was the most useless thing. Okay, let's see. You take your fishing line, put it in half, fold it in half, make a loop. Then you take your little loop. I'm just gonna straighten it out so we can get it through. This has an unfinished thing because it's for like a necklace. And we're gonna put it through the bottom part where it's not, doesn't have that unfinished piece. And then you take your loose ends and you put them in the little loop, grab them, and pull it. There you go. So I guess you could do that with a bead. You could do that with a bead. Okay, so on the clear one that we do next, I'm going to try that with a bead, but for right now, this is what we're going to use. We're going to use this tiny little ring to just get it started. Okay, so then it's basically just weaving your colors, and here's the thing if you want to watch, because it's going to be so tiny. Let's start with, do like a tiny little green one. Are these too tiny to fit? Okay, so you want to do that side. And then I'm definitely going to have to burn down the edges of this. Let me grab something to burn that down real quick. Okay, so we're going to melt these edges. Not going to touch that, even though my brain was like, smooth that out. It immediately was like, touch that. Okay. So we'll try that. So we put it in through this side. I don't know, I might have underestimated how tiny these guys actually are. Yeah, I think I did. Is this going to be another fail video? Maybe it's the fishing line because it's so hard to cut. Okay, where'd my bead go? Right here. Basically, you have to cross this one through, but it's such a tiny guy, I don't know if it's gonna even go in. Nope, there it goes. Look! Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, so we have one. I immediately hate that hoop, but that's okay. We're just trying to figure this out. Okay, there's the first tiny little bead. So cute. Now you do 2 beads, so you do the same method. I did, what, a little light green one, so let's do 2 green ones. Okay. Then you take your other side, and this is just repetitive, back and forth. The order changes a little bit, like when you get to the hands and such. And, oh, I'm so happy these actually work because I was doubting that for a second. Okay, so then see the method, you take the 2, and I'm sure I'm over-explaining this, but maybe someone didn't make these growing up, you know? We all went through, if you're in that age range, you went through making these little guys, you know? But not everybody, maybe not everybody did. So that's what the over-explaining's about, I guess, because maybe this is new to you. I love tiny little things. On my shelf in front of me here where my desk is, I have tiny little items that I just collect and think are so cute that they're just miniature versions. And so, I don't know, seeing the bigger version, I was like, oh gosh, if we shrunk those guys down, it would be so adorable. And my littles play with a box in the house. It's called Our Small Things. And they just have little tiny characters and items, you know, that also we've collected, just fun little things like tiny foods and things. So these guys could just get tossed in there, and this actually goes through relatively easy. I don't know why that was so hard at first. But these guys could get tossed in there and just have, oh my God, look how little it is. Just stop it. That's its little, am I in the frame? That, I need it to focus. This, it's absolutely not focusing, but this is its little tiny nose. Okay, now we do 2 more. What colors do we just do? The light green. We'll try to do like a dark and light pattern. My husband was actually really excited about this project too when I said, you know, we should shrink those. And he's like, oh, I want an all blue one. So he's going to have one too. And I don't know, I think it's real nostalgic and it just reminds me of, you know, maybe that this would remind you as well of just being carefree and making beaded lizards when you were a kid and there was nothing else going on, you know. I am seriously trying not to get way overly excited, but this is his head and it's so little. Okay, so that was, we did the one, two, a row of 3, and now a row of 2. Okay, this, guys, when I tried this when we were fishing with this kit, these hands, I tried so many, I could not comprehend what in the world they were telling me to do with these hands. But once I grasped it, I actually felt silly because I just was not letting my brain work. It's actually so simple. So you take your, I had to double check because I'm like, wait, am I about to do this wrong again? Okay, so you basically take your string, double it over, okay? And then you put all your beads. So we're gonna do, wait a minute, see this, it's doing it again. My brain's doing it again. All right, so you double it and you put on, that's what it is. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna do our first 2, which we'll do light because we have that closest. Okay. And even if you don't want to make these as an adult, I would highly recommend making these with your children because it was so fun. And they also had to, like, obviously the string and such was bigger, but, you know, they have to sit still and just do the project. It's a very good project. It doesn't really make a mess unless your kids drop kick beads all over the place like mine do. So it could end up in a mess, but it's nothing terrible. I just think this is a really good, almost like a focus project. Okay, yes. Okay, so you do the 5. This is what I need to say out loud. Okay, so I did the first 2 for his little arms. Now here's going to be his hands, his little fingers, okay? But this is this is what I could not understand. So you put your 3 beads on for his tiny fingers. We need one more little guy. Okay, now this, so you have your 5 beads, right? This is seriously so simple, but my brain was not working. All right, so you take your 3 beads. These little guys are the fingers. So what you do is you double over your string and you don't take the fingers in. You only double loop it through the tiny arm part. Okay, now watch. You push that through. Oh my gosh, hold on. We got to get this little guy's arm down here. So you want to feed the beads through to the base. Oh my gosh, stop it. That's his tiny arm. This is his arm. I can't. It's too cute. So then you take your other side and you do this exact same thing. So we're going to do the 2. We did 2 clear ones, or like light green. And this video will move forward. At the end, I'll just show you my other guy that I make because maybe some of you are just watching this. If you're watching this, by the way, thank you so much. You're amazing. But some of you might be watching this like, is she okay? Well, I'm just super pumped with this little lizard. And yeah, my brain does stop working sometimes during this because it doesn't seem that complicated, but my brain likes to overcomplicate things. All right, let me put this, okay, once again, you put all 3 or all 5 beads on, you leave the top 3 alone, they can just go away, and you double loop it through, completely missed that, let me make sure I'm in frame, and you loop it through the 2, and then you just pull this down to the base. Which, let's go to the base. Okay. I also really like the fishing line because the stuff they give you here was like a, I don't know, like a fabric-y type material, and it was very just like flimsy, and I felt like the beads were falling off, or you know, if you didn't stabilize it, they were just sliding away. So this fishing line works really well. Okay, so then you do another 2, which will do light. Oops. We're gonna do 2 light green. And I'm trying not to be super slow about it. I'm sure, like I said, some people know how to do this. But these beads are so teeny weeny that it does take me a minute for my hands to get working. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I think I was out of frame right there, but okay. Yeah, see, I'm completely missing that bead. There we go, there we go. This will also teach you patience, which I have little of. I'm not a very patient person, and like I said in past videos, I think these crafts are teaching me more and more that you can just kind of slow down a little. I saw this thing once about, I read it once about kids that, you know, kids do everything so slowly, and you're like, want to kind of jump in sometimes and maybe help them along. But I read that maybe they do things like that to teach you to slow down. And that was really something that stuck with me because we're all always trying to go, go, go. And that was part of this channel's creation, was that I just wanted to get back to, you know, taking time to, like, this is relaxing. Uh-oh, see, I did something silly there. He's a little sideways guy, so let's redo that one. Take out that side. You know what I didn't do is you have to make sure you cross it over in order for it to lay flat. So I must have just stuck it like alongside. There we go. So see the difference when you cross it over, it creates that like laid down effect. Okay, now we're on to 4. And what color are we on? The light green. We're almost to the end. We're just building this little body. Three. You know, speaking of slowing down, that's also why I put so much of my actual filming into my videos, because a lot of videos just are short and people they either don't have the time or like the patience to watch to the end, which is great. I do put the timestamps in, but I do think that sometimes when I watch YouTube, I like videos that take a minute, you know, that I have to sit through and watch, not have to, that I want to sit through and watch and just like unwind with. And I was saying also I love these like hangout type videos because okay, so we did 4, we do another set of 4. I'm in real time for myself, so getting on to film just puts me in like a very, you know, calm, relaxed state. So I try to share that here with, you know, including most of it because that's part of it. It's part of it because that's how actually long it takes. Like, this is in real time. Okay. Ooh, those went through super smooth. Okay. There's his next little layer. My kids are going to just love this little guy. 4, so now I'm on 3 and light green. Whoops. 1 bead down. 2. 3. Okay, so another set of 3. And cross it. Drag it down. Now we do 2 little guys, dark green. I will probably, 2 beads down. I'm gonna do, that was 3, so now I do 2. I'm gonna go ahead though and do the little legs, the same as his arms, off camera. And then I will come back and show you the tail. But we're basically to the end of his little body, and we're going to build his legs off of him just like we did before, the 5 beads in a row, and you only loop the bottom 2 to create his little fingers. And then I'll be right back and I can build his tail with you because his tail is a little different as well. Ta-da! He has tiny little legs. So now we're going on to the tail, which isn't complicated by any means. It's just a little different type of stringing the beads. Okay, so we need 2 light ones. The same little method of stringing them and then putting it through. Okay. That one. And oh my goodness, I took like a short break and I feel like my fingers stopped working. Oh, I just took that out of there. Okay, so this is the end of his little body. You just do those two right there. And now we're going to start his tail. So you put the two together, the two strings, and I'm going to try to cut these off evenly now that we have everything connected down there. So you put these two together and you straight bead. That's not a term, but you straight bead. Okay, we're going to continue to use that. And put this, put 5, I think that was 5. Oh no, this is so tricky. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay. There we go. So we're just going to do a little pattern. We're going to start with the green, dark green. And it is actually 5 beads, yeah. Oh, that's not right. I'm going to do a little light green. There we go. We're going to do a dark green. We're going to do light. And another dark. Is that my 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Okay. So there's his little tiny start to his tail. I cannot stand how cute this is. And then you're gonna take, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 5 beads. So you could shorten his tail, I guess, if you wanted, and you don't want his tail so long, but we're just gonna follow the pattern. There's ways to just make this a little different here and there, you know, like give him a longer body, give him longer arms, whatever you want to do if you play around with it. But this is just like a basic. Okay, so real quick, we're back to the stringing, you know, through and through, and you just do 5 of those. That was light green. But you can just basically, we're doing the basic design, and eventually maybe I'll play around with, you know, we give him a super long face, or we give him super long arms and make him just crazy looking. That would be cool too, actually. Oh, I don't even think I tried to put that on the string. So 5 of these guys again, but just the crossover method. And what did we just do there? 2, okay. Another little dark, oh no, it's over here. And you know what else I'm learning is that I really thought I disliked these tedious little projects, right? I'm always like, oh, I've got to destroy stuff to make art. I don't have the time to sit and focus like that. But what I'm realizing with doing these tedious projects is that when I'm sitting around, you know, thinking, okay, what do I want to do this week? I am now gravitating towards doing tedious little projects like this, because I don't know, it really, I have some diamond art. Have you guys ever done diamond art? I have one here in the background when I've showed my room before, but I also am working on one, a Hocus Pocus one. Maybe I'll show you guys that sometime if you're interested at all. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. And diamond art is like that. I never knew. That's funny, I actually say I don't like tedious projects because I completed a whole diamond art. Now, did it take me a year? It most certainly did. But I actually thoroughly enjoyed it because your brain is just going, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? You don't have a lot of room in there to like input any other thoughts. So I feel like now I'm gravitating towards these, you know, time-consuming projects like this. Oh, look at his tail, it's crooked, and it's so cute. He's got a little side tail, like a sideways tail. I'm sure you could straighten that out, but I like that he looks a little crazy. So now at the end, all you do is you take your, you know, fishing line, string, ribbon, whatever you're using to make these little guys, and you just, I overly knot things because I'm a crazy person, but you could probably get away with just knotting it. And then we're going to cut away this extra little string with my scissors that don't cut. If you haven't noticed that the whole video, these guys need sharpened up. And look, he is seriously so cute. Look at that character. What's happening there? That is the cutest thing I have ever seen. Here's some other, like, look at my other little small things. I have this tiny little, you know, those Russian dolls. This guy was just on his own. I found him. I have this tiny little baby. And where's the... I mean, this one's not that tiny, but it's kind of a tiny little heart. I have like little tiny gems. Oh, don't forget, I have a tiny brain and a tiny mummy. Like, these gradually got bigger. So anyway, my point is just get out. That is the cutest little thing. I cannot wait to see and make more of these and see what my littles name them, because they'll all have names. I don't know if your kids do that, but everything has a name here, and they just get weirder and weirder as they continue to name things. So that's always interesting. But now I'm gonna make a couple more of these. Not on camera, I don't think. I will save you the I will save you the trouble of that, but I'll come back and I'll show you all the little guys. I think I want to make the blue one for my husband and then probably a clear one. So I'll see you back soon. All done with some more little guys. I wanted to show you this in reference. This was the original tiny ones that we made. And then this is the one that I first created. He's so small. Here's the blue one. I just made this guy. I also did not put the, I also did not put the hook on this one, and it was super simple. I was, once again, like I've mentioned, overthinking how to do it. You just double tie the bead down and don't put the hoop there. So we have a little dark and light blue one. And then this is what I was going to show you guys. So I wanted a little invisible guy. So I used the fishing line, the clear fishing line. And this is kind of what happens. So I did finish him because I wanted to see if it made a difference. But the fishing line's pretty strong. It's just like not movable enough, so he's kind of, I'm sure he'll loosen up. I did put him under a couple candles, like pretty weighted candles, to see if he would stretch out a little, and he did. But he's wants to just like fold in on himself. So that was my first one I tried with the fishing line. Not a huge fan of that. Maybe I'll figure out, you know, a different type of clear material, you know, line to use that's not so, it's so waxy, I guess is what it is, so it just beads up on itself. But then I went back in because I really wanted a little clear guy. So I went back in and I made him with the fishing line I was already using, which has like that green hue to it. And I made another little clear guy. But see, you can see in reference the difference. Like, this guy's tail's looking wild, but it won't straighten out, you know. I think we could flatten it out under something, but that was something I just learned, which is, that's good to know. And then this little guy is great. I think the green's pretty cool. I do wish he was clear all the way, but it's just another little example. There are so many combinations. So I have this one bead set, but there are so many combinations you could make of these little guys. But this is what we did today. I'm sure I'll get different supplies and we can try this again another time, or maybe next time I see you I'll have 95 of these made. I don't know, because they're so cute and way too much fun. But I appreciate it if you've made it this far. I would love to see if you guys try this project and make it in different sizes or maybe different textures. I would love to see examples or just hear about, like, what did you come up with? Because these were just really, they were super fun. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Really quick, I just wanted to let you know it was a success. I took the little lizards down to my baby and she immediately would like pink and purple ones. So I'm gonna keep making these and have a whole collection by the time the day is over. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.